villains that flop, from endings we love to the ones that should stop. He'll call out the hype, tear down the disguise, say what you're thinking but can't verbalize. No sugarcoat, no play it safe plan, just raw uncut, that's Mr. Redman. Every frame, every game, every line's fair game. If it's weak, if it's fire, he'll call it by name. This is Lights, Camera, Rant, where fandom meets fury. Yeah, you know where we stand. Strap in, speak up, turn the volume to 10, and let begin.
Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and if you are brand new, welcome. Pull up a drink, and we're going to talk about the latest news. And, of course, we're going to be reviewing the brand new Kevin James movie, Solo Mario, which I'm really looking forward to talk about. And, of course, if you've already been here, you know where to pull up, grab a drink, and let's hear the rant, because we have a bit to get through that's happened in the past week. Even announcement today, which... oh, look, you could have said it was really almost was predictable. At the same time, like, it's a nice, good surprise. So I'm really up for it because both the movies, gaming, TV shows, everything that there's been a little bit that's happened the past week to kick off this year really, really well, which I'm excited for. And of course, next week's episode, we are also going to be reviewing Scream 7, which is the premiere is this week as we're recording. I cannot wait to see that particular one, which I still can't believe the fact that we have reached Scream 7 and the fact that there's also a brand new scary movie that's also coming out later this year. Oh, potentially another White Chicks too. That's also as a possibility, but it's good to be back. Ranters and rantettes. So it's good to be here. And look, I also want to going to have a little check this because look, it's Feb. The bigger movies are starting to come through. So let's just recap and bring it back a little bit for the kick off the year before we really dive in to what's going to be up and down. So talking about the highest grossing movies, I really want to get this so we really get an idea of what's coming. The highest grossing movies of this year so far have been Wuthering Heights with Margot Robbie with $152,000. Right behind it is Goat and $102,000. $102,000. Send Help, which is $82,000. And then, oh, sorry, where am I getting 1,000 from? $152 million. Goat, $102 million. Send Help, $82 million. And why am I looking at this terribly? Sorry. 152,000 at the box office of Wuthering Heights, 102,000 for Goat, 82,000 for Send Help, and unfortunately, 28 years later, Burn Temple is a little bit lower. Crime 101 only made 43, but yeah, it's always up and down. But that's kind of where we're situated right now. Goat is doing really fantastic. Unfortunately, it got released earlier around the world compared to here in Australia. So it actually comes out this week, Goat. So once that hits the box office numbers, that's going to bump up a little bit more. And then, of course, the Iron Lung, that's doing fantastic. But the movie we're going to be talking about at the end of this episode is called Solo Mario, which is currently at 22,000. Where are we going here? Hello to Orlando 13628. Thanks for your pass. As always, we go live on YouTube every single day. We go live every single week. We talk about the latest news. Sorry, 4 million. Sorry, I don't know where I get the 1,000 to. It's 102 million. God, where did I get that from? My bad on that one. Sorry, it's million. I don't know why I was saying 1,000. I've seen one little digit, and that's just throwing me off. It's million. Because that's how you go and make money. But yeah, right now, Margot Robbie is currently winning the box office take. So let's see how that is going to go as everything else comes out. But I really want to set the stage for what's coming on the horizon and what's going to be, what is going to be the highest grossing movie this year, which I've said in the past is like, it's a big question. Is like, there was so many big movies that are coming out this year that are top contenders for what could be the highest grossing movie. And of course, like that's not also meaning what's going to be the best, what's going to win Best Picture, which I highly think it's going to be Christopher Nolan's The Odysseus is going to be the Best Picture, top nominee right there. But I don't think it's going to be the highest grossing. Like that's either going to be Spider-Man or it's going to be Avengers Doomsday. High contender as well as Dune 3, but I think Avengers Doomsday is going to be the highest grossing film. But second place, there's a lot of contenders what could be the second place, but it's all up for grabs. But one that's really going to punch it right to the top, I have no doubt, is Toy Story 5, which Disney did drop the trailer in the past week. Thank God. Because that trailer that we got at the Super Bowl was really like, that was weak as piss. And like, I get the collaboration and everything, but I was a bit like, oh, is that all we're getting? Is that really a trailer that we're going to be getting? But we did get Toy Story 5, and we see the entire gang back. We see Woody's back, balding a little bit. I've been loving, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's been the John Cena balding meme with Woody, and people are in like same energy. And I'm like, ooh, yes, it is. Yes, it definitely is. And of course, Toy Story 5 going into this one is like, yes, like, does there really need to be a Toy Story 5? Money says there needs to be, but it's going to be good seeing this film because it's doing a great reflection of what's happening at the moment with technology. Everybody's on their phones. I am also one of those people, always on your phones. And this is what's going to be with kids and being on devices and what's going to happen with the toys. It's going to be interesting because it's also going on the back that this is going to be more of a Jessie story opposed to a Buzz and Woody. There's a whole theory going around where we're going to see Jessie's original owner in this, more of her backstory. But it's just good to see all the gang back together. How is this going to wrap up? How is this going to live up to the rest? Like, I remember Toy Story has been banger after banger after banger. I still like 3 more than I like 4, but 4 was still solid. But Buzz Lightyear, seeing all of them back. And this will also be scored by Randy Newman, who's done the soundtrack ever since the very first one. He is lined up to do this again. So I'm totally ready to sit back, get my heartstrings pulled, and see the gang back, which potentially, I think I've said that for Toy Story 3. I know I've said that for Toy Story 4. Potentially what I've said with Toy Story 5, that this could be the last time that we will see the gang. But it is most likely the fact this could be a very high contender of being one of the highest grossing movies of this year because, let's be honest, everybody loves Toy Story. And if you don't like Toy Story, there's usually something wrong with you or you have a fear of toys. So keep up with that. But yeah, it's also interesting the fact that we're getting another sequel without Andy. We grew up with Andy in Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, and he wasn't in number 4, but the fact that he's not going to be in this one either just makes me feel so old. Oh, but I'm glad Randy Newman is back. Now, this is going to be interesting as well. So take this as a rumor mill. So Sadie Sink, she's going to be in Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day. And there's a whole running theory because she can't talk about who she is. And she's not named in the casting of what she is, of course. So there's a whole rumor going around that she's playing Jean Grey. And the fact that not only is she playing Jean Grey in both Spider-Man 4, that she will also be in Avengers, and she will be in the Marvel X-Men movie, which Karen Feige said is in full swing. And now there's a whole other rumor, the fact that we have got to that point where we need to start talking about, because next year we've got Avengers, this year we've got Avengers Doomsday. We have no other Marvel movie until Secret Wars, and that's where it drops off officially. There's, of course, I've spoken about before about the rumor mill, about everything else that's coming out. Between Doctor Strange 3, Black Panther 3, Shang-Chi 2, definitely not Eternals 2. Thank God. So there's been a whole rumors of what's actually going to be coming. So we're getting to that point where Mr. Kevin Feige has to come forward and talk about the upcoming movies that are on the horizon. So we need to enter the next phase of the MCU with the multiversal saga coming to an end. And of course, the big rumor going around is the fact it will be the mutant saga, going more in line that potentially the Apocalypse will be the next big major villain, which he has been done in the past. But I think by the time Apocalypse Avengers 7 comes out, and with Apocalypse and everything, it will be vastly different to what we've seen on the big screen in the last film. So it will be very different, but going into the mutant saga. Because look, they've done Darkseid. They partially did Kang, and then they're doing Doctor Doom right now. So technically, he is the next big bad. They'll be coming like huge. Multiple, you need to get the Avengers back in to do this all together. So there's a rumor going around that Comic-Con this year, they're going to announce the X-Men cast, and it just I know some people are going to complain. Some people are going to complain and be like, "Oh no, this is the third time it's getting rebooted." Yes. And we just get Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes. And we're going to get the X-Men again in Avengers Doomsday. Is this too many X-Men films in the cast? So you have to remember that after Secret Wars, this is going to be a hard reset for the MCU in a particular way. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be, even more after Avengers Endgame. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to drop off again as we move into future new actors. And look, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Feige is a smart man. I'm sure the fact that they've got lined up for X-Men is going to be very different to what we've seen. It's going to be very different to the Fox, and it's going to be very different. And there'll probably be some changes that people will like, some changes that people won't like, but it's all up for grabs on what it could be. My main thing, my 2 cents going into the next X-Men film is the fact that if we can get the original team together with Cyclops leading it, being that arrogant, being the leader, struggling with trying to do with a team, very much like X-Men 97. But look, if you don't include Wolverine in the first film, I don't think that's terrible. If he does a cameo or something like that, leading to it, I think that's fine. But I think it's need to lean more on the core members of the X-Men opposed to Wolverine centric. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand why Wolverine became the central story in the original X-Men. He was an outsider. It made sense that as the audience, that you embody him on the journey coming into this world and meeting the entire team. Fully understand. But, it'd be great moving forward that we get the Fantastic Four, we get the X-Men all in the same universe, and my comic book brain just explodes because we are beginning, and also keep the original suits as much as possible. And of course, Deadpool, we can bring him in at any time because time travel and all the fun stuff. And of course, as also mentioned, with Deadpool 4's on the horizon as well. So, there's gonna be a lot of. But look, if they announce the cast for X-Men, if they announce the cast for X-Men at this year, the new one, even they just drop that would just be enough to get the audience going wild. Shout out to Frank D8V. Thanks for coming past on YouTube. Appreciate it. Even though they just announced the X-Men cast, that would be all that the world needs and what would be right for it. But it's all up in the air at the moment. And talking about something that's been up in the air, something I was fairly aware that this would never, ever see the light of day, because I feel like it's just been one of those things that are like, it's coming, it's not, it's coming, it's not, it's coming, it's not. Oh, it's going to a different director, it's going to a different writer, it's changing. Oh, and now that Netflix is doing it. So apparently the BioShock movie at Netflix is going to be in full swing within the next 2 to 3 years. It's going to be in full swing. And I'm really looking forward to the BioShock movie. It's such a shame that we've only got 3 BioShock games, monumental games, and especially the first one that has an ending that is so cemented in gamers' minds, such a twist of fate that, just does a full 360, makes you think about everything, not just a betrayal of a friend, but the fact that, like, you as a gamer, not the fact that, here's your character, you make all the choices, but the fact that you're getting played from the very start. Like, everything you've done, you haven't done it independently and come to this point has been such a twist, and is etched in the epic moments of gaming forever. And not even, the thing is, I don't know how they would portray this in a movie, but seeing that twist of fate as an audience member and watching people react to that would just be incredible. Just seeing people go, oh shit, no, just that would just be awesome. But it's obviously, you'll still have that way in a movie, but a video game, it's a little bit longer, because you like playing as a protagonist, and whatever choice you make, what you did with the girls, what you didn't do, and who you killed, and everything like that. Like, it comes all down to choices, and what they can mean. But I just hope with Netflix that they spend the money for this, bring BioShock to life. And for anyone who's not played the game, this is basically what happens with BioShock. It's about a world called Rapture that was built underneath the ocean, basically Atlantis almost, where scientists could, be freely to do whatever they want. It's kind of based on the 1960s, 1970s type of time period, basically. It has just incredible story. And if you're not a gamer, that's fine, but I recommend someone to watch all the cutscenes and watch BioShock. This is just where lightning was in a bottle, and boom. And then BioShock 2 was good, and everybody loved it. BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite was fantastic as well. It's just a shame the fact that's where it ends. Something that you could have built, not so much almost like Grand Theft Auto, is that, you have to wait like 10 years or so to get the next game, but it's well worth it. And the rumor of BioShock 4 is out in the ether. However, the closest thing that we are going to get to BioShock 4 is a game called Judas, which basically is BioShock in space. Again, it's come from the same creators who made BioShock 1, which I'm really excited for this. Judas, unfortunately, the game got delayed. It was meant to come out last year, and now it's just up in the ether of, I won't find out when it comes out. It's just so far delayed indefinitely. We got the trailer for it, we got the poster, and that's it. That's all we've gotten. But apparently, BioShock, the movie at Netflix, is moving forward and is a high priority. Now, what seems to be apparently what's not a big priority for a lot of Star Wars fans is the Mando movie. So we're getting the Mando movie this year, and we got the full trailer finally, after, again, people complained with what happened at the Super Bowl, is that the trailer we got was really subpar again. We finally got the Mando trailer, and it looks like an awesome adventure. It was just an awesome adventure. It was great. It was great to see. I'm so up for this, going back into this world, going back into the Mandoverse. But apparently, according to a lot of people, and according to statistics, a lot of people aren't very excited for it. It's just a shame because this is the first Star Wars film that since The Rise of Skywalker, which was awful, so awful that we got, and that this is meant to be redeem it. The Mandalorian re-sparked people's interest in Star Wars, and built a whole fandom, Grogu, everything, and we literally have a Mando Grogu movie that's meant to tie into Ahsoka season 2, which we are meant to get season 2 sometime this year of Ahsoka, which I feel, but we do have the Darth Maul TV show in the meantime to keep us happy. I just, a lot of people tell me the fact that they're excited for it, they're looking forward to it. But, if you put it on a pedestal of everything else that's coming this year, it's almost, number 6 or number 8, depending. Like, if you put it on the pedestal, like, Avengers Doomsday, Odysseus, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Toy Story, Dune 3, it just kind of keeps going a little bit further down, but don't get me wrong, like, I'm all up for this. Like, can't wait to see this. I really fingers crossed I get to go to the premiere for this. Like, I'm all up for it. But just apparently it's not really hitting with the Star Wars fans. And look, if it doesn't make the money, that's Disney loses faith in it. Especially the fact in 2 years later we got Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, which again is not one of the main ones, and then Rogue Squadron, which I don't think that's actually happening anymore. I'm pretty sure it's dead. And then of course we've got Taika Waititi movie. Apparently that's also in the works. So apparently it's been having, but yeah, like, I would love to know, like, you guys excited for Mando? You guys excited for the Mando movie, or just pass, or it should have just been season 4? That's going to be the question coming out of theater watching the Mandalorian Mando movie is, should this been a movie, or should they just gone ahead and just made, what do you call it? Season 4. Could they have just done that instead of just doing the movie? So that'd be a good question. But yeah, Mando trailer dropped. I'm all for it. Let's get excited. But what we need to get excited for, like, what we need to get super absolutely jacked for, is that I got to mention this last week, is that they have announced a God of War original trilogy remake from the ground up with the original voice of Kratos working on it, which they have said, before you get too excited, they have said this is very early days. So very early days, they're cooking this up. It's currently in the works. So it's very early. So we're probably looking at the end of next year, 2028. Say 2028, give or take, for this one. I'm like, we got that teaser trailer. I'm so sold on this. Like, for an entire new generation that is going to be able to play God of War for the very first time. I'm pretty sure they're probably not going to include the scenes in game that you can do. And I think it was the first one or second one you could do. I don't think it's going to be happening at all. They apparently they're going to be reworking the combat systems. They're all flows together. Very something similar to what happened with Crash Bandicoot. When they did the re-trilogy, they kind of tweaked the combat so it flows for all 3 games. Probably more in line with the fact with the last God of War games. But to see this God of War trilogy, God of War is taking the cake at the moment between this trilogy and between the TV show cooking up. God of War fans, we have so much God of War coming. That's just, we've got so much coming up with God of War fans. It's so exciting to be. But here's the little tricky thing. Here's the thing. Here's a little trick. We're going to look at is the fact that Christopher Judge, it's been really interesting. So someone asked Christopher Judge, are you involved in the next one? Are you involved in the next game? He said no, which makes sense because it's the original God of War trilogy. Makes a whole lot more sense that he's not in this one because, of course, that he does. Of course, the fact that he does the older version of God of War, but apparently he said there's a different project that he's going to be talking about coming this summer. Now, is that going to be God of War 6? Or is that going to be about the brand new Stargate TV show? Either way, I am all up for it and very excited. Whatever Christopher Judge is going to talk about, whatever project he's got cooking up, I am all up for. Because it was like, it's interesting. I was like, okay, you just dropped that little nugget. What are you doing, buddy? Because there's a lot of fires on the fire, which could be that. Don't remind, just really quick reminder, everybody, there is a brand new Stargate TV show coming. Apparently, is going to be set in the current Stargate franchise, SG-1, Atlantis, Continuum. It's going to be set in that universe. I just wanted the plot details for this. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm so excited for it. Just how this is going to look. Is it going to also include about the movie we're meant to get, which was Stargate Extinction, which I'm pretty sure that was the name for it, where it was going to be it was going to finally answer the questions what happened with the Stargate became known to the world, and that was just going to be a wild movie, but of course they didn't bring it to light. It was meant to be the last one. There was also meant to be a Stargate Atlantis movie, but that we never saw that either, which is a really darn shame. That we didn't get that. But yeah, I hope it's the fact he's going to be back. And because he's a Goa'uld, Tilk, he could still, he could be the Braytac for the next generation. Oh my God, I could spend an entire episode just breaking this down of what could be happening on the Stargate. How the Swift of this are going from God of War to Stargate. Just all up for that. Of course, we also got news today about Wednesday season 3, which is currently in production. That Winona Ryder will be joining the cast as Tabitha, which we did see her at the very end of season 2, which we're going to see Wednesday and her go head to head because that is her auntie. Yep, it's her auntie, her mum's sister. This will be the second time that all three have been together. The last project was Beetlejuice. So this is all coming together. So the production is happening right now. We expect to see Wednesday season 3 next year. Because we got last year. However, next year it doesn't take as long. Fingers crossed. Wednesday season 2 was good. We did love the darkness of it, the whole Tim Burton world. Hopefully, season 3 is going to live up to that, especially because Winona Ryder's got some extra time on her hands because Netflix, Stranger Things has come to an end. So scary to say that. The fact that Stranger Things has come to an end after all that time. I'm still waiting for them to be announced. Stranger Things season 7 is coming in 2028. And the kids are having on to their 4th child. So, but yes, that is the Wednesday news that we just got just recently. We've also got news about the Netflix. Netflix is pumping it out at the moment. Is that Grace will be playing Daphne in the upcoming Scooby-Doo TV show. She's the only one that's been announced so far as the official cast. I think she's going to nail as Daphne. I can't wait to see how this reimagining or retelling of Scooby-Doo is going to work for Netflix. But I'm all up for it. I think she'll do a great job. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure she's capturing iconic franchises like Infinity Stones. She's doing this. She's in Scream 7. She's also in Sheldon. She's also in Young Sheldon. She just seems to be gravitating to all the really big shows and movies, franchises, which I think she's going to kill it as Daphne. Very curious to see what the rest of the cast will be going for this TV show, and when we'll get the release date. Again, as mentioned last year, we probably won't see this until 2027/2028. Okay, now let's Let's talk about the movie while we're all here. Solo Mino. Yeah. Solo Milo. So a big shout out to Renato for the invite to watch this film and review it. It's an interesting film to say the least. So with a budget with only $4 Rialto, sorry, I got my words mixed up, is the fact that this particular film is didn't get that right. Is the fact that this film has a very interesting campaign leading to this. So this film was made on a $4 million budget. It's starring Kevin James, and it's currently made $22 million at the box office. It is doing extremely well. It is a love story that goes a little bit of astray for Kevin James' character as Matt. But the great thing that Kevin James has done is that because he's a school teacher, he basically did this whole viral thing that there's a school teacher that looked like him, and it was going viral because like, oh my god, it looks like Kevin James. And Kevin James never commented on it exactly, so that went viral. And of course, Kevin James also did a stint at the Super Bowl where he was alone, just trying to promote this movie. And this film's, it's a drama, it's a comedy, it's romantic. But what I really like about this film is it has that good twist it has that really good twist ending, which I didn't see coming. And it wasn't your normal romantic story of like, oh my god, they fell in love, oh my god, they together, they got together, boom, there's your wonderful there's your little heartwarming moment, and there you go, there's your romantic movie by the numbers, essentially. So Matt, Kevin James' character, is devastated when he gets left at the altar. They're in Italy, they're in Rome, and he gets left at the altar. She leaves him a note, and basically she says he can't do this. After he's tried winning her, they were loving each other. He did this whole video of them together and basically showing their love, which look particularly normal. What couple meets and how they go together. However, when she did leave him at the altar, he goes back to the hotel and he's booked this entire honeymoon package, where he's meant to go on these bike rides. He's meant to go to these different, adventures, with the honeymooners. That doesn't happen. And basically, he's spamming Megan. He's spamming her. He's doing calls. He's getting drunk, and because she doesn't love, she just answer his calls. She's blocked him. And during this journey, he meets also the other honeymooners on this trip. Some a little awkward, some a little bit arguing, but just shows you different aspects of what love can be and how what brings people together. It's funny. There's definitely heartbeat moments all through the film. And when Matt's trying to get over it, he meets this lady at this coffee place. It's right around across from the hotel, Gina. And of course, she helps him. They start talking, which in that direction starts looking like a normal romantic movie. They try and get together. And there's a great aspect of the movie where she starts talking about what he loves to do, and he goes, "Oh, I used to paint, but I don't do it anymore. I can sing, but I don't do that anymore. It's just things that fade out." And what this movie does a great job is show the fact that there are different aspects of people getting together, what love, what marriage is, getting divorced, getting married 4 times. There's one couple in that does that. And, when you put all your hopes into somebody, what should be a fantastic day doesn't turn to a fantastic day. What happens when someone gets cold feet? How do you change as a person for someone you love, or it just wasn't meant to be? And not to mention, we have Andrea Bocelli that's in the movie, which is, plays as a cameo basically himself. Has a whole singing moment between him and Kevin, which was wild. Of course, we're going into spoiler territory, but yeah, that was wild to see. Ed Sheeran's in this as well for briefly, because Matt's an Ed Sheeran fan. But the real twist in all of this, which I do love, which if you don't want to know, come back and listen to this episode and then come back later, is that Megan writes him a note about wanting to break up and how she's the fact that she can't do this anymore and she has to go. And he shows this letter to Gaia because he wants to tell her the truth. He doesn't want to string her along after what's happening because they're going so close and he's really starting to fall for her. She sees the letter, she freaks out. And what normally would think is that she's freaking out because he basically got left at the altar and was meant to be on his honeymoon. And it was really close together. But the beautiful thing about this film was that you find out that later on, Megan does come back in the picture and Matt starts talking to her. And he says, why they couldn't be together, why he couldn't see it, why she left and everything. And he said, I had your note. And she goes, I did. I had a little bit of help. There was a lady at the coffee shop that helped me, and it was Gaia. And she helped him. And that's why she freaked out about the note, because she realized the fact that she helped this woman write the note, and she's with the guy that left at the altar was because of her. So that was a really good side swipe, if you will. That was fantastic. I loved that. I thought that was a fantastic twist of fate in the sense that I did not see that coming, but it does. Yeah, it subdues what you normal. Like, don't get me wrong, they're still together. They get over it. They love each other. He finally gets married. The ending's pretty stock standard. But the rest of it, I think was really good as a reflection of, how you feel with that situation, what you change for your partner, what happens when things don't go to plan. Take every opportunity. Stop saying no to things. Be more open. Don't be so closed off. Make some new friends. You never know, as weird as they are or as strange or how much they can drink. Also, don't talk to strange women at bars. That's also in there as well. But this film definitely lives up to the reception it's receiving, the good word, the money for this. I think Kevin James has done a great acting job in this film. This film was shot all in Rome. I went last year and I'm watching this and I'm like, I already want to go back. Like, this was incredible how it was shot and everything. I'm like, God, I'd love to go back to Rome and Italy. I wish it was just around the corner. I'd go there in a heartbeat. But this film, it gives you that warm, it gives you that humble feeling at the end. It's only 96 minutes long, so it's not going to drag. Every beat hits, and you feel every beat along the way. And we do get a mid-credits scene where we get to see them together and everything. Even Gia's story, is really sad on her background. How with what love, holding out for somebody. You think they're going to want to start a family, but they never do. Just very much real world on what people have felt. At least there's something in this film between the married couples, between Matt, between Neil, Donna, Julian, all the supporting cast as well, is that you will feel a point in something. I go, I've felt that before going into this film. It's one of those. I think it's one of the best films so far of this year. It's not going to make a shit ton of money, but if you're looking for a feel-good film that makes you think a little bit different, this is the film for you. This is the one I'd recommend, and go check it out. And if you have seen it, let me know in the comments. Happy to rant about it, and I'm all for it. So definitely go punch your ticket and go see this at the movies. Oh, wait a couple of weeks and see this in streaming. And as always, thank you very much for tuning in for this episode. Thank you for listening to my review. Definitely go check out our socials so we can rant a little bit more together. And as always, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.